Police stopped Chadema Party Deputy Chairman's convoy from traveling to Coast Region. And in sports, Serengeti Brewery is limited to continue sponsoring the national team Taifa Stars for another 3 years. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. ACT Wazalendo Party's presidential candidate in Zanzibar, Maalim Seif Sharif Hamad, during a campaign rally in West District, has said that if his government enters into office, it will ensure every region of Unguja and Pemba has a referral hospital.
Uwe na hospitali nini ya rufaa kila mkoa kupunguza watu msongamano.
Every region in Zanzibar must have a referral hospital to reduce congestion at Mnazi Moja Hospital.
Bima ya afya ya taifa.
National Health Service. Those who can contribute small amounts will do so. Those who cannot afford, the government will pay their contributions, but every person together with his family will have health insurance. They will sit together and form a constitution of their choice for the benefit of all Zanzibarians.
The presidential candidate in Zanzibar from Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, has assured residents that he will ensure religious freedom is respected. He made the pledge during his community campaigns where he met with Christians from various denominations.
Religious discrimination is still there. There is discrimination based on where someone comes from. It is still there. Unguja or Pemba, north or south. I will do my best according to how God will enable me to combat discrimination. They know that if you have a case and provide forward with it, you will lose it if you don't have anyone. Presidential candidate Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, we ask you to be our hope. If God grants you that position, we are very hopeful with regards to a type of leadership that is just.
Kama wananchi wa Zanzibar na upendo wao watakupa dhamana hiyo.
Several people, including the leader of ACT Wazalendo Party, Zito Kabwe, escaped death after two vehicles, which were part of the leader's convoy, were involved in an accident at Kaliawad, Uvinza District, Kigoma region.
It is true that the accident occurred at 2, whereby Honorable Zito's convoy, together with candidates for Member of Parliament seats on ACT Wazalendo ticket in South Kigoma constituency, had an accident. We've received a report that some have been injured. An ambulance has been provided by the district administration. Zito Kabwe had a tour in Katavi, and we were together to campaign in Katavi. On our way to South Kigoma, as we were crossing the bridge, our driver slowed down and the car behind us was on high speed and hit us.
And the convoy of the deputy chairman of Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo Chadema Party, Tundu Lissu, that was heading to Kibaha Coast Region was this morning prevented from continuing with its trip to Kiluvya Gogoni, which borders Dar es Salaam and Coast Region. Another victim out of the 4 rushed to Muhimbili National Hospital yesterday following the accident that occurred at the Changombe Mandela Junction has died, bringing the number of deaths in the accident to 6.
Tulipokea majeruhi 4, ni kweli, na wawili walikuwa hali zao sio nzuri, wawili walikuwa wanaendelea vizuri, lakini kwa bahati mbaya leo tumempoteza mmoja, wamebaki majeruhi 3.
We have received 4 casualties, 2 are critical, and sadly we received 2 casualties. 2 are critical, and sadly today we lost 1, so we've been left with 3, of which 1 has been returned to the ward because he's doing well. We are doing everything we can to save them.
Lakini maendeleo yao kimsingi niseme wanaendelea vizuri.
President Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera is expected to arrive in the country for a 3-day official visit, which is the first since he came into power in June of this year.
Mahusiano yetu na majirani zetu wote yako vizuri kabisa.
Our relationship with all our neighbors is good. For those who don't wish the United Republic of Tanzania well, this tour of Lazarus Chakwera, which follows that of the President of Burundi, Evariste Ndayishimiye, is a clear indication that our relations is sound and good relations. It is not just by the President going out of the country, but it is strengthened by those sent outside and also by those visiting him.
Sio kwa rais wa nchi kuwa na safari nje, lakini pia inaimarishwa na wale wanaotuma nje, lakini wageni wanaomtembelea.
31 illegal immigrants from Ethiopia, 1 from Somalia and a Tanzanian national have been arrested by the Immigration Department in Tanga region for illegal entry into the country. They were arrested at Kicheba village in Muheza district at the home of a resident identified as Zubair Ali.
Kundi la kwanza kubwa ambalo tumelikamata katika eneo.
We've arrested 30 Ethiopian nationals who were provided shelter by a Tanzanian. All have been arrested together with the person who has provided them with shelter. We will continue to interrogate the Tanzanian national. He will tell us what he knows. He will also tell us who is behind this network, because it is not possible that he is working alone.
Nipo katika kuzuia mambo ya uhalifu wote ambao unatokea kuanzia baharini.
I'm here to prevent any criminal act on the sea and in the villages. If there is something that I cannot address, I consult my chairperson. This could be a cover-up for criminals inside the park to carry out crime.
Kufanyia mazoezi yao ama matukio yote ambayo wanaona ni hatarishi kwa eneo letu pia.
1,024,007 candidates are expected to sit for the National Standard 7 Leaving Examination from the 7th to the 8th October this year. The Executive Secretary of the National Examinations Council of Tanzania, Dr. Charles Msonde, has said preparations for the examination have been completed.
Waliosajiliwa 1,024,007 ndio watakaofanya mitihani hii, wakiwemo wavulana.
Those who have been registered are 1,024,007. These are the ones who will sit for the examination. 493,287 boys, equivalent to 48.17% of all candidates, and 530,718 girls, equivalent to 51.83%.
Hawa waliosajiliwa 1,024,007 kufanya mitihani hii.
And the governments of Tanzania and the government of Ireland have signed 2 contracts worth 44.1 billion shillings for 2 second-phase plan projects to help poor communities under Tanzania's Social Action Fund TASAF, as well as the 2020-2021 Health Fund.
On behalf of the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, I'd like to take this opportunity to commend the Swiss government for this special grant. The cooperation between our two countries has been strong from the 1960s. To reduce poverty and increase manpower so as to allow poor families to earn a living and protect their children. Thirdly, to increase the ability of poor families to buy what the family needs. We will make sure that the money is used as intended by the two governments to uplift the citizens and bring development.
The signing today of the extension of our mutual agreement will allow our continued support towards universal health coverage in Tanzania during the current financial year. As soon as the new 5-year Memorandum of Understanding between development partners and the government of Tanzania has been finalized, we commit to continued investments in the Health Basket Fund.
That's all for the national news. International news is next. And now in international news. The Education Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, has announced the reopening of public and private schools following 6 months of closure due to the coronavirus pandemic. He said the progressive reopening will begin with students in grade 4, class 8 and Form 4 who are expected back to school from October 12th this year.
We may not need classrooms. We need teachers even under trees. We need the children back to school now.
Watoto wamekaa nyumbani.
Students are home. What is surprising is the Minister of Education has been playing cards with schools. Should we open or stay closed? We will open, we might try to open.
And Uganda has said that it will support the Democratic Republic of Congo in constructing the 223-kilometer road from Kasindi border to Goma. The project is expected to improve trade and security relations between the two countries.
Our trade with DRC was standing at $532 million.
Our trade with the DRC was standing at $532 million. And can increase significantly. We will strengthen infrastructure to ensure this. This is the main route in the project.
To this regional requirement.
Burundi and the Democratic Republic of Congo have agreed to cooperate in fighting armed rebel groups which have been a threat to peace in both countries. The agreement was reached following a tour of the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Democratic Republic of Congo in Burundi.
We are worried about armed rebel groups and we must dismantle and destroy them. As a zone, this must be our priority. We cannot let this continue as there is nothing of importance we can do while these groups continue to affect these zones' economic growth. We agreed that we must put an effort together to fight against these armed rebel groups so that we can ensure our citizens get peace and development they deserve.
That's all for the international news. Business news is next.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digitalization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and now in business news. Mobile phone company Vodacom is celebrating 20 years of service in the country by rewarding customers with various prizes as well as media partners who include ITV.
If I just give you a glimpse of what happened of our impact in the last 3 years, over 2.8 million indirect and direct beneficiaries were impacted in that. 68,000 customer numbers of direct beneficiaries were also impacted. If I look at the students nationwide that are truly today using our free digital platform, over 60,000, and we want to bring that across the schools in Tanzania, which is again one of our purpose that we believe in, that every single student and child has to have access to free education in the country, and it's one of our purpose that we believe in.
M-Pesa ni huduma ambayo kwa kweli leo hii unapotoka nyumbani unajikuta hujabeba simu yako.
When you leave the house and forget your phone, you will go back quickly to retrieve it, because through your phone you can do many things including M-Pesa transactions.
Kufanya miamala, lakini pia kukidhi haja zetu tofauti.
The Permanent Secretary from the Ministry of Industry and Trade in Zanzibar, Juma Hassan Reli, said more emphasis will be put on use of barcodes for locally manufactured products so as to make them more competitive in the domestic and foreign markets.
People will have begun to understand, and there has been significant response from producers who seek us out. I have been lucky to serve in this institution for 9 years, so I have personally witnessed the growth.
Tanzania Bankers Association has launched a campaign aimed at sensitizing the public on digital financial services. This is to increase usage of such services.
Endeleeni kutoa elimu hii kwa wananchi wengi zaidi.
To continue by providing this education to more of the public so that they can use these services digitally, which will enable more Tanzanians to receive the service.
Wameweza kufikiwa na huduma hizo.
Kampeni yetu inatoa elimu katika masuala mbalimbali, ikiwa ni pamoja na umuhimu wa kuweka akiba.
Our company provides education in various areas, including the importance of savings, various types of savings, foreign accounts, how to conduct transactions digitally, budget planning, and various types of banking services.
Aina mbalimbali ya huduma za kibenki.
And that's all for the business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And now in sports. Serengeti Breweries Limited SPL will continue to sponsor the national team Taifa Stars for another 3 years in a deal worth 3 billion shillings.
It is also within this contract period that we have witnessed the Taifa Stars qualifying for the African Nations Championship, CHAN, and the next round of the 2022 World Cup qualifying after a win over Burundi. Hongereni sana, congratulations.
Young Africans Yanga Sports Club have settled for Cedric Kaze to take over as the club's new head coach.
Under your guidance, Mr. Chairman.
After only 37 days in charge of the team, it is now understood that Kaze, who was also given the job before Yanga settled for Cream Portage after he cited family issues, will be unveiled anytime this week. He is due to take charge ahead of the league resumption, which took a break for the international friendly matches.
Zerdan Shaqiri is tested positive for coronavirus, the Swiss FA has said. Here's more.
Shaqiri is the third Liverpool player to test positive for the virus, following Thiago Alcantara and Sadio Mane. In consultation with the health authorities, he is in isolation, said the Swiss FA. Clarifications are currently underway with the local health authorities about how to proceed. Switzerland are due to face Croatia in a friendly on Wednesday, followed by Nations League fixtures against Spain on Saturday and Germany next Tuesday.
And Herrera has revealed what he told Edison Cavani about Manchester United and has also urged Kylian Mbappe to snub a move to Real Madrid in 2021. Here's the story.
Herrera spent 5 years on United's books before departing at the end of his contract last summer and was then snapped on a free transfer by Paris Saint-Germain. The 31-year-old has had the opportunity to play alongside several world-class performers at Parc des Princes, including Cavani, who currently stands at the club's all-time record scorer with 200 goals to his name. Herrera says he gave his own personal insight into playing at Old Trafford to his old teammate before he made his way to Manchester, before expressing his frustration that supporters will have to wait before seeing the new striker up close.
Mikel Arteta is facing up to some major selection issues following the close of the summer transfer window, with 2 senior players set to be axed from Arsenal's 25-man Premier League squad.
Premier League rules state that clubs have until October 20th to submit their 25-man squad list, which must feature a maximum of 17 and a minimum of 8 non-homegrown players. But Arsenal's addition of Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid, and more importantly the failure to find takers for players the club had been looking to move on, means that Arteta currently has 19 non-homegrown players in his squad. The transfer window is still open for Premier League clubs to do business with clubs in the Football League until October 16th, but it's highly unlikely that any of the senior players at Arsenal would agree to drop down to the lower tiers of English football.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.